She stood in the center of the bar, hands trembling behind the calm mask on her face, staring at the men who had unknowingly shaped her entire life. The jukebox hummed behind her, neon lights flickered overhead, and the room froze in a silence thick enough to break. The men in leather jackets slowly turned toward her, men feared by many, respected by more. Her voice cracked as she said the words she had rehearsed for 20 years, "I'm your long-lost sister, and I need your help." In that moment, none of them, not even she, knew how deeply those words would shake their world. The bar had been noisy just seconds before, but now everything hung in suspense. The oldest man at the table slowly set his beer down, confusion drawing lines across his rugged face. The others glanced at each other, trying to understand who this woman was and why she had just turned their lives upside down, but she didn't back down. She couldn't. This was her one chance to uncover the truth, to save what little family she had left, and to finally feel like she belonged somewhere. Whether they accepted her or not, everything was about to change forever. Emily had worked at Rusty Jack's bar for 2 years, blending into the noise and shadows like someone who learned early in life not to take up too much space. She kept to herself, smiled politely, and never talked about her past. Most customers saw her as just another hard-working waitress with quiet eyes and a determined walk, but inside, she carried a secret that had burned a hole in her heart since childhood. She grew up in foster homes, bouncing from house to house, always hearing the same story from social workers. Her mother died when she was young, and her father was unknown. But Emily knew that wasn't the whole truth. Before her mother passed away, she whispered something Emily never forgot: "To find your brothers. I left them to keep them safe." For years, Emily tried to trace any information, any clue that could lead her to them. Then, a month ago, she found an old photo stuck between the pages of her mother's Bible, a group of young men wearing the same patch stitched onto the jackets of the men sitting at her bar tonight, the Hells Angels. The night she realized the truth, she wasn't afraid. She didn't think about their reputation or the danger. For the first time, she felt hope. If they were her brothers, maybe she wasn't alone after all. And now, standing before them, she forced herself to look into their eyes that mirrored her own. She pointed to the patch on the man with the gray beard. I think my mother was your sister. Her name was Sarah." The bearded man's jaw tightened. His fingers clenched around his glass. One of the others whispered something under his breath. Emily swallowed hard and continued, "I don't want anything from you. I just need to know if it's true. Because my life, it's falling apart. And I have nobody left." Silence. Then the gray-bearded man finally spoke, voice gravelly but steady. "Sarah is gone. We haven't seen her since she ran away almost 30 years ago." Emily felt her heart crack open. He stared at her a long moment, searching her face, studying every detail as if comparing her to a memory only he could see. Then he muttered, almost in disbelief, "Holy hell, you've got her eyes." The room shifted. Something heavy and unspoken settled over the table, but before any of them could say another word, the bar's front door slammed open. A man Emily prayed she would never see again stumbled inside. Her ex, the one who'd taken everything from her, the reason she lived every day looking over her shoulder. The one she escaped from last year. His voice exploded across the bar. "Emily, you think you can hide from me?" Her breath left her body. The world swayed, and in that instant, the Hells Angels, men who had been strangers seconds earlier, stood up in unison. This was no longer her fight alone. Emily froze as her ex marched toward her, fury in his eyes. The bar fell silent again, but this time it wasn't confusion, it was tension, thick and dangerous. He pointed a finger at her. "You took my money. My truck. And you think you can talk trash about me to the cops? You're coming with me, Emily. Now." Her knees shook. She had been running for so long, fighting for herself for so many years. But this time, she wasn't alone. The gray-bearded biker stepped between them, towering over her ex. His voice dropped low, almost a growl. "She's not going anywhere with you." Her ex scoffed, unaware or too angry to care who he was dealing with. "Move. She's mine." Another biker, broad shoulders, tattooed arms, rose behind Emily's ex like a shadow. "She doesn't belong to you. Not now, not ever." Emily's ex tried to shove past, but the movement ended almost as fast as it began. The gray-bearded man twisted his wrist behind his back and slammed him against the wall with controlled force. Her ex cried out, "Listen carefully," the biker growled into his ear. "You will never touch her again. If you even breathe in her direction, we will know. And you will regret it. Emily stood frozen, disbelief and relief crashing through her in waves. The police arrived within minutes, called by another customer. They took her ex away while he screamed threats into the empty air, threats drowned out by the protective wall of leather-clad men standing between him and the woman he once controlled. When the door finally shut behind the officers, the bar fell quiet again, but this time, the silence felt warm, safe. Emily looked at the gray-bearded man, her possible brother, and whispered, Why did you protect me?" He hesitated, then answered softly, "Because Sarah was our family. And if you're her daughter, then you're ours." Another man stepped forward, nodding. "We lost her. We ain't losing you." Emotion flooded her. Years of loneliness, fear, and longing rushed up at once, breaking through the wall she'd built around herself for survival. Her voice trembled. "I don't even know who I am anymore." The man placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You're one of us now. And we take care of our own." In the weeks that followed, DNA tests confirmed what their hearts already knew. Emily was indeed Sarah's daughter, making her the youngest of the long-lost siblings. The men who once intimidated her became her fiercest protectors, her teachers, her family. They helped her rebuild her life, move into a safer home, and even reconnect with memories of the mother she lost too soon. For the first time in her life, Emily felt like she belonged, like she had a history, a name, a place where she mattered. Every night she walked into the bar, she smiled at the table where everything changed. A place where strangers became brothers, and a lost girl finally found the family she'd been searching for her whole life. And in the end, she realized something powerful: a family isn't always the one you're born into. It's the one that shows up when you finally have the courage to ask for help.